Klarna's AI agent is currently matching the output of 853 full-time employees, saving them $60 million and driving this insane average ROI of 171%.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, Gartner is predicting that by 2027, 40% of all agentic AI projects will just be canceled entirely.
Right, so we are taking a deep dive today into that exact gap. Why do some of these autonomous setups work so perfectly while others just, completely fail?
Well, I mean, it really comes down to the mechanics. Companies are trying to deploy them without understanding the structural shift from a passive chatbot to an actual agent.
Yeah, because a standard chatbot is sort of like a calculator. It waits for your input, gives you one answer, and then just stops. But an agent is, well, it's proactive.
Exactly. The core engine is what we call a perceive, decide, act, learn loop. So unlike older models that just spit out text, an agent outputs structured tool calls.
Usually in JSON, right?
Yeah, right. Almost always JSON. It perceives the environment, decides it needs a specific tool, and outputs that JSON to trigger it. Then it evaluates what happened and loops back around continuously until the goal is met.
But wait, looping autonomously inside an enterprise system? That sounds terrifying.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I mean, a tiny hallucination and it could accidentally overwrite a production database.
Which is exactly why you need massive infrastructure around it. And this brings us to a huge point of confusion for builders right now, the terminology.
Yes, let's clear that up explicitly. We hear about an AI harness, an agent framework, a scaffold, an evaluation harness like SWE bench. Are these all literally the same thing?
No, they really aren't, and it is so crucial to separate them. Frameworks like LangChain or CrewAI are the basic building blocks that give you model flexibility and routing.
Okay, so that's the framework.
Yeah, a scaffold is more like the architectural pattern you build with those blocks. But an AI harness, or an agent harness, that is the actual operational environment where the agent lives and executes its tools.
Ah, got it. So they're definitely different.
Completely different. And an evaluation harness, like SWE Bench, is strictly a testing environment to grade the agent. It doesn't run your production tasks at all.
Okay, so what are the actual agent harnesses people are using right now? The ones getting all the attention?
You're looking at things like Claude Code, Codex CLI, Cursor, Devin, OpenHands, and Aider. These harnesses are where the rubber actually meets the road for developers.
Because they manage that dangerous JSON execution loop we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. And to do that safely, they use provider-native SDKs, like Anthropic's, which have these things called hooks, like a pre-tool use hook, which actually intercepts the agent's actions before they fire.
Which ties into MCP too, right? The Model Context Protocol.
Spot on. MCP standardizes how the agent connects to external tools in the first place, giving you a secure, universal plug so it only sees authorized data.
Okay, but I have to push back here for a second. We are constantly told these foundation models have, near human reasoning.
Sure, they're incredibly capable.
So if they're that smart, why do we need heavy scaffolding, hooks, and harnesses? If I have to build an elaborate trap to double-check every single move, aren't I just babysitting the AI?
I mean, it feels like babysitting, I know, but you really have to separate raw intelligence from business context.
What do you mean by that?
Well, a genius-level model understands code perfectly, but it has no idea what your company's specific compliance rules are. It doesn't know which database is off-limits.
Oh, right, because it's just a general model.
Exactly. That pre-tool use hook isn't checking the AI's math. It is a structural hard stop to verify safety.
So the framework, or the harness, creates the agent's reality.
Yeah.
If you build bad boundaries, the project just fails.
Yes. The models aren't failing, the guardrails are failing. And that perfectly explains the 40% cancellation rate Gartner predicts.
That makes total sense. And it explains why human oversight is still, the most critical feature.
Yeah.
I mean, Klarna actively reintroduced human agents for emotionally complex queries, right?
They did. The autonomous system was fast, but it just lacked nuance. Plus, over half of companies, like 52%, say poor data quality is their biggest deployment blocker.
Because the agent can only act on the data its harness allows it to see.
Right. AI is built to handle the raw volume, but humans have to handle the nuance. Harnesses, not just the models, are going to decide what AI can really do next.
Which brings us right back to you, the listener. If an agent's success is entirely dictated by the digital fences we build around it, are you ready for a future where your primary job is no longer doing the work, but meticulously defining the boundaries for your autonomous workforce?